Thank you, high school staff members, for taking the time to view this short podcast. I know this has been a very difficult time over these last few months, and I appreciate your patience and commitment to our students. So today, I'd like to initiate a conversation. And this conversation is regarding the 2011-2012 high school schedules by providing you with the following: some background on the previous high school schedules and the current schedule, and reasons we are considering different schedule options for 2011-2012. Now, this discussion applies to all our comprehensive high schools: Aurora Central, Gateway, Hinckley, and Rangeview. Now, back in 2006 and 2007, when I first arrived here, and in 2007-2008, events occurred that led us to change to a common bell schedule in 2008 and 2009, and I want to explain why. As some of you will remember, several snow days forced us to close school, so we had to review the contact time at all levels. Now, CDE requires at least 1,056 accreditation contact hours annually. We learned that APS was out of compliance with this requirement at the high school level. In 2007 and 2008, two high schools were actually below the required 1,056 hours. One school was just slightly above 1,056, and one school had an advisory program that we initially thought counted towards sufficient hours, but it did not meet CDE requirements. So this school also fell behind the required hours. Now, in addition, we had not factored in the extra time for possible snow days, and we needed to do that. As a result, we needed to create a solution to our accreditation shortfall. And consequently, in the fall of 2007, we implemented a schedule study. Now, the high school principals were charged at the time with implementing a bell schedule that included common start and end times and met the following parameters that we laid out. One was to provide students equitable access to CDE required instructional hours. We know this is important due to the mobility rates, certainly in our district here in APS. Second, we need to increase transportation efficiency and reduce costs, as we always try to do. Third, we needed to provide consistent contact time for high school teachers, implement extended teaching and learning blocks because this is a best practice. We also knew that it was important to create a common professional learning late start opportunity for high school teachers. And we sought to increase student access to classes at Pickens Technical College and the Community College of Aurora. So in 2008-2009, we adopted a revised bell schedule. High school principals considered several models. Now, they chose the 8-period alternating block schedule because it met all the parameters, as I stated above, including the CDE requirements. In 2010 and 2011, we increased high school teacher contact time. Now, this provided the following: more than $2 million in savings during unprecedented budget cuts in the worst financial crisis that Aurora Public Schools has ever experienced. A reduction in the number of positions targeted for elimination, an increase in student access to classes, an overall decrease in student-teacher ratios, more balanced teacher contact hours across all levels, and an extended teaching and learning block, as well as we continue to meet the state accreditation requirements. At this time, we are asking for input on the 2011-2012 schedule. Although we continue to support the validity of the current 8-period alternating block schedule, we are open to the consideration of a different bell schedule. Now, you may be wondering why we are considering a schedule change now. In April 2010, we offered the Aurora Education Association the option to test the 8-period alternating block schedule with 3 classes a day for high school teachers for 1 year of implementation. Now, this would have provided us with means to collect factual data before the AEA grievance was heard by the arbitrator. We now believe it is appropriate to consider other schedules based on a variety of input that we have received. Specifically, this fall, many high school teachers expressed an interest in increasing contact time with a different schedule than what we created this year. We definitely heard what you had to say to the board. So 2 weeks ago, we presented this idea of considering other schedule options to the Board of Education and the AEA leadership. This month, we have asked high school principals to do the following. Consider schedule options, gather input from their staff members, and use this input to reach consensus as a high school principal group using the following parameters. We want to meet CDE requirements, of course, and allow time for possible snow days. So there must be 1,100 accreditation hours. There should be 120 instructional hours per class annually. Students must have the opportunity to earn 24 to 25 credits over a 4-year period. High school teachers and student schedules may include an 8-period alternating block with 6 classes or a 7-period traditional schedule with a staggered start and 5 classes. High school teachers will have at least 25 hours of contact time weekly, and we also continue with the late start Wednesdays for common high school teacher professional development time. Due to budget constraints, 2010 and 2011 TE cuts cannot be added back. And there may be additional TE reductions for 2011-2012. Creation of the master schedule has always been and will continue to be a collaborative decision made by high school principals. The new charge to high school principals is to develop consensus on a master schedule and a common bell schedule using these parameters. High school principals will gather input from staff members using each school's standard decision-making process. Principals will make a decision in early January about the 2011-2012 bell and master schedules. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a difficult time in Aurora Public Schools. The unprecedented budget cuts that we have faced have been difficult for everyone in our organization, without exception. Budget cuts have placed burdens on all staff members. I want you to know that the board and I have been continually impressed that despite disagreements, every staff member has continued to do what is best for students, and that needs to be recognized. At this point, our high school principals will continue this conversation. I encourage each and every one of you to provide your input. Thank you for all that you do for our students, and thank you for all that you do for our public schools.